Morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Morning, morning, morning. Probably not going to stream Powell's speech, but I don't know. There might be one. There might be somewhere you can see it live, but we'll definitely see a reaction. I would assume. I mean, we'll see. I'm not too positive. If Powell speaking in Sweden, I think it's in Sweden, will do anything major, but it definitely could. Every time Powell opens his mouth, there's definitely a reaction. So we'll see. Morning, everyone. Thanks for everyone that came out to the live stream last night. That was fun. That was cool. I enjoyed that. Pretty much everything we talked about last night is holding up pretty well this morning. We're getting that downside under that 180, that 39.20 level on the ES. Some really nice supply rejections yesterday. So today's looking interesting. Today is looking very interesting. Hopefully you guys are excited. Hopefully you guys are ready. We'll wait a little bit for some people to trickle in, but thanks again for being here. Welcome back to the stream. Make sure to get your coffee and whatever you're drinking in the morning. coffee, Celsius, bourbon, whiskey, tequila, vodka. What's Everclear? Anyone open the morning with some Everclear shots? Yeah, you can always rewatch the live streams, the night ones. Water. Yeah, I forgot about water. Bourbon. Absinthe. Absinthe. Yeah. What is that's like a absinthe is like a what is that again? Strong stuff, right? Moonshine. Damn, yeah. 90 to 148 proof. Yeah, don't start your morning with any of that. All right, guys. Moonshine. Yeah, let's get some moonshine going. Very, very nice, Jay Price. Jennifer Aniston's dirty bathwater. Great. All right. Good morning. We'll start on Jay Price's comment. That'll be our signal to get started here. All right. So good morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Let's get this started. Let's get the party started. Today is the 10th. Today is we definitely got a little bit of news here in the pre-market. We got Jerome Powell speaking at 9 a.m. in Sweden. Obviously, some things are going to be touched on about the current environment in the United States. I'm assuming we're going to see some potential reactions here in the pre-market, and just be careful of that. Right? In today's live stream, we'll go over the levels, we'll go over the technicals. We'll go over what we need to watch, but we, again, need to be careful of economic news. Economic news can invalidate our technical analysis. As a trader, we have to react to it. So we'll have to see how our technicals hold up after economic news that we have here at 9 a.m., Jerome Powell speaking in Sweden. So we'll look at the futures, the economic earnings calendar. Let me go ahead and pop that up real quick for us, just so we can get a good look. Here it is. So here's your economic calendar. You guys can see right here, we have, this was already done at 6 a.m., small business index, but 9 a.m., we have Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking, wholesale inventories at 10. Tomorrow, nothing, so empty on the economic tomorrow, but then Thursday, the party gets started, right? You got James Bullard speaking, you got CPI, you got jobless claims, and this is all in the pre-market. So if you're trying to swing something tomorrow, right, if you put on a swing trade tomorrow, you better know that you're at the mercy of the market, right? Any swing trades that you hold into Thursday, you are at the mercy of the market. You cannot trade options in the pre-market. You will not be able to change your positions in the pre-market. You are at the mercy of what the CPI is. So just know that coming into this week, obviously the smart thing to do is to not swing trade. But if you want to take some risk, then, be my guest. So Thursday, big economic news will be here on the live stream for it. We'll see the live reaction here on Thursday, so make sure to stop in on Thursday to check that out. And then we end the week with import price index, consumer sentiment, 1-year inflation expectations, 5-year inflation expectations. All right. Next week, is the market closed Monday? Let me double check on that. Market holidays. Market is closed this Monday. So long weekend this weekend. Long weekend. We are closed on Monday. So that's nice. No live stream. Maybe I'll pop in if I'm not doing anything. Maybe we'll do a little market review or something. So Monday, January 16th, Martin Luther King Day. No market. Market is closed on Monday. So just know that. All right. All right. I got the ticker up on the top for you guys. I got the ticker and the time frame, so hopefully everyone enjoys that. I know some people were complaining, so I got it for you up there. NQ in 1 minute. Now you can see what ticker we're looking at and what time frame we're looking at. Hopefully that helps. All right. So, really nice supply rejections yesterday. I mean, textbook stuff. So if you guys saw some of that, I hope it made sense to you. NASDAQ 11.4. S&P 3950, 3970 area. Oh yeah, we'll do a Monday night live stream. There we go. Perfect, Mike. Good idea. So awesome rejections. We had rejections on Tesla at 124, 160 on Nvidia. We had a really nice rejection come in on Costco around that 490. Netflix is starting to reject some supply, so a lot of really nice levels to be watching today. I'm pretty confident about what I'm looking at today. We'll have to see how that changes intraday or at 9 a.m. today when Jerome Powell speaks, but I really like what I'm looking at as of right now. So let's see what happens. Tesla 124, Nvidia 160, Costco, Amazon under 87, Boeing gapping down this morning, worth a watch. Apple under 130 is very important. And then that Netflix supply rejection. We're going to look at all of those today. Nike, yeah, we talked about Nike in the live stream last night. I like that setup. And then let me go ahead and make sure I get the ticker form set up for you guys today. I failed to look at it yesterday. Let me go ahead and set that up today. So if you guys want to put your tickers in the form, feel free to do so. I'm going to go ahead and adjust that right now so you guys can go ahead and submit some tickers to look at today. The night stream is for, YouTube members and Discord members. And if you're subscribed to my Instagram, there's a subscription thing on Instagram now. You'll have the link, the private link to it. If you want to rewatch it, that's all available on YouTube. It's not going to be shown on YouTube to the public. I figured I'd do something for people. I want it to be smaller. I want to be able to respond to every question. I know a lot of you guys talk here in the live streams, and I just physically can't get to all of it. So I wanted something a little smaller, something more personalized, something more fun at night. And I feel like this could be an opportunity. All right. All right, I'm reading something else. Okay. All right, let's get started. How about that? So, futures. Let's start over with the NASDAQ. Really like what I'm seeing here so far. So, if we look at this chart, it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome rejection right here at this 11.4 yesterday. So, we popped right into that 11.4, started to reject. I think we got some news intraday about, I think a Fed president was speaking in the afternoon, and we got that downside move right there. So that was the 50 SMA on the NASDAQ. That was the previous double top on the NASDAQ, and we rejected it really, really well. You guys can see right there, pushed into it, came right into that 11.4, right into that 50 SMA. You can see here on the 5-minute chart. Look at this day. What an interesting day. Push higher, start to slow down, and then we give it up. Some days you push higher, you start to slow down, and then you just sort of consolidate. Yesterday, we had that power to give it up. So up, reject, up, reject, and then give it up off that 11.4 supply, off that 50 SMA. That was very, very nice. So today, you can see the key level, which was the previous key level, was 11,180, right? So 11,180, 11,180, that was the previous rejection point that we got above yesterday. Now, you can see in the pre-market today, we're rejecting it, and we're now rejecting that 20 SMA on the NASDAQ. So if we go back to the hourly chart, we got up to that 11.4, we rejected it. Now we are trading back below this double top, right? Double top here, right? Double top here. And then you can see right here a double top or a rejection at that previous double top on the NASDAQ. That is very, very key today. This is like the most important thing to be watching. If the NASDAQ does not get above 11,180, I would be very cautious on the upside plays. If we stay below this 20 SMA, if we stay below this 11,180, then yeah, I would definitely be looking for, a rejection play like this to give up some of this Friday upside, right? Can we give up some of this? Oh God, didn't mean to do that. Can we give up some of this straight up move from Friday, right? That would be the question mark today. Can we give some of this up right here? That's the question mark that I'm looking to see if we can answer today's intraday. Yeah, you could call this a head and shoulder. It is resembling of one. I don't know if that's like the formation if it works out, then most people will say yes, it's a head and shoulder. I guess it is. To me, it's more of just just a push into supply, a rejection there, and then, we're rejecting this previous double top. I guess you could say, yeah, head and shoulder. It is there, right? That is resemblant. That's exactly what one looks like. That's a very aggressive head and shoulder. It's not typically like straight up, straight down, but that is a pretty nice rejection point at 11.4 supply. You now know, right? What does yesterday show you, right? You got to think about what does yesterday sort of give you insight on. Yesterday shows you that the eagerness to move higher and hold higher is just simply still not there. It's just not there, and these supply rejections are nasty. So if you're going to play upside, it's going to be very difficult to trust, anything under 11.4. It's going to be difficult to trust, right? You don't know whether you get a little fake move here, right? Maybe you get a little fake out here, right? It's going to be very difficult to trust any upside unless you're, over this previous supply level at around 11.4 and 50 SMA. So just keep that in mind, right? You can see how quickly this gave up. Very difficult to trust that upside there. 11.180, very nice rejection potential here at 11.180. I would be watching that today. If we start to get weak off this right here, I would be looking for that downside to give up some of Friday's move. The level that I would be watching for potential support is the same level that we were watching earlier this week, which is 11,070, right? 11,070 right here. This would be your potential support level that you have to watch out for. So why do I say that? You have support here, or rejections there. You have a rejection here. You have a rejection here. So if the market does trade back into the 70, right, does it find support, right? We have to be aware of that. Maybe it finds some kind of short-term support and then rejects once again. You don't know. So we have to be aware of a potential 1170 hold. That's very possible right at these previous highs. So if you're short, just be a little cautious here, just in case the market does find some kind of short-term demand there. And if it does, I would still not be bullish until it's over 11,180, right? Just because it holds here, I don't know if I would trade the bullish side. You could maybe scalp a few points if it does sort of really aggressively bounce there. But I would want to be bullish today. I think I'd want to see a move over 180, over the 20 SMA. I don't think I want to be very bullish until I see a move over this, right? Get over that 20, get over that 180. So 11,180, 20 SMA, and then 11,070. If we crack 11,070, I think you got your runway. I think you got your runway for a downside if you crack the 11,070. All right. ES, very similar analysis. Really nice rejection. Here's the 4-hour on ES. And let me go ahead and delete the SMAs for now. I'll go ahead and put them back on for after. But right now, I just want to show you that rejection that came in, right? So the ES had consolidation all up in here, right? This entire little 20-point range. Look at this mess here, the mess here, the mess right here, right? So you can see this 20-point range had a lot of consolidation in it. And if you trade back up into something like this, you have to expect potential rejections, right? It's easy as that. And you can see yesterday, we traded right back up into it, and we rejected very harshly right there. So very nice rejection there around that 39.50, 39.70. Very clean, very nice downside. And the key, in my opinion, the thing that happened yesterday, which I think was very key, was that we gave back up the 39.20. So if we go into the hourly chart here and we look at this chart, you guys can see this was your 39.20. This was your 39.20. And yesterday we gave that back up. And what else are we doing here? We are also turning it into a rejection point in the pre-market today. So we are back below 39.20, previous high here. We are turning it into a rejection point right here, and we are now losing 3,900. So this looks bearish to me, right? We'll see what happens at 9 a.m. today. We'll see if Jerome Powell does any effect on this market. But this is pretty key, right? Previous support at 39.20, into rejection at 39.20. That would be, in my opinion, a bearish technical setup. So you're under 3,900. And the last thing that I would say you have to watch out for is just these daily SMAs. It's the 20 and the 100, I believe. Yeah, so right here. This is the last thing that I would just be aware of. You have the 20 SMA and the 100 SMA stacked up on the ES right here, sitting right next to each other. So, yeah, you're back within the channel. You're turning 3,900 into a rejection. Look at this, right, as we speak. So 3,900 is now turning into a rejection point, which is very important as well. And the last thing I would say is, do we lose the 100 SMA, right? That would be your last line of defense. If we lose this 100 SMA, then maybe this downside starts to slip. 3,900 support into resistance just here on the 1-minute chart early morning. Very textbook there. So yeah, I'm definitely liking this for potential downside, especially if we lose that 100 SMA. So 100 SMA, watch that. Under 3,900, I think you're weak. And yeah, that's what I would watch. 3,900, 3,920, and then the 120 SMA right here. If you start to lose all this, I would assume you start to trade back into some of this Friday's upside. So that's what I'd be watching today on the ES. Dow Jones. Dow Jones is coming right back into this previous high, and it is starting to move back under it. So you have here, that's 33,650. You have these previous little highs here around this, really around this 20 SMA, 33,470, 33,500. It's really a whole zone here, right around this 33,500. So you have that 33,500 and that 20 SMA. I would be watching out for. So the Dow broke back below this high, right? That's sort of like what the ES did under that 33,650. Look what it did at 33,650. It turned it into a rejection point this morning. Very key, right? You can see right here, 33,650, broke under it, turned it into a rejection point. What is 33,650? That is the previous high right here. That is the previous high right here. So you are turning that previous high into a rejection point this morning, right? There's nothing quite bullish about that. So we have to watch out for 33,650. If we're under 33,650, I would look for that 33.5 area and that 20 SMA. All right. Finally, Russell. Russell's back at the retest level. Does it hold this as a retest? That's the big question today. You guys can see previous rejections, previous rejections, previous rejections. We are trading right back at it. Do we hold here? Right? Do we find a hold here, or do we start to trade under it? That's really what you're looking at today, right at 1,800. All right, so that's what I'm looking at, guys. ES, I would say as long as the ES is under 3,900, and if it's under 3,900, I'd say weakness definitely. If it bounces back over 3,900, look out for the 3920s. Right? If you get a bounce over the 3,900, look out for the 3920s, and then just watch out for this stacked SMAs here. You got 20 and 100 SMA just stacked right there. So just be careful of that. Tesla. So Tesla, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty sick rejection here. So you guys can see we had previous lows, right? Very easy. Previous lows, previous highs, and then look at where Tesla rejected yesterday. So yesterday, you can see we pushed up into that 124, 123, 124, rejected it, and now we are moving lower. I don't see much support on Tesla, to be honest, until 114.60s, 115 area. So this whole 115, probably 115 is the psych level to watch, but I really don't see much support until 115 right here and then right here. So if we get downside on the market, I'd look for Tesla to trade into 115, right? If if the market reverses and finds strength, this could be a support level, right? We have to know that. We can't ignore that. This could be a break and retest hold of 115. So I would be careful getting aggressive on shorts at 115. You can maybe trade it into 115, but I would not be opening new puts at 115. Unless this thing starts to slip, it looks very weak, starts to turn 115 into a rejection point, then maybe you look for that slip under 115. But you have to be cautious of entering new puts at 115. If it pulls back into these previous highs and it holds there, right, that could be a break and retest hold. If we get a push under 115, if we turn it into a new rejection point, then yeah, right, then you probably have your next leg. So pretty key levels and pretty easy levels to watch here on Tesla. I would be watching 124s, 123s, 124s. I'd be watching the 115, and I'd be watching these lows around this 105, right? Really just like three stages of this channel. You have pretty much the top, the bottom, and the middle of the channel. You have to see how you can trade around those levels today. All right. Nvidia, really key level here today as we open. You know, we'll see how we do open, but as we sit right now, we're sitting at a major level on Nvidia. We pushed yesterday straight up into a supply level. You guys can see right here, right there, and then right here. Perfect rejection of 160, pretty much textbook. I mean, literally right into this previous low, and then look at the rejection that came in right at 160. If I go to the 1 minute chart, you can see it just could not get above that level. Look at the afternoon on Nvidia here. Just once we hit that 160.5, it just sort of died off right here. Tried it again, failed, and then that was your eventual slip into end of day. You can see we're moving lower in the pre-market. And what is this level right here? Right? What is this level that we're sitting at right here? What is this green zone? This green zone is the previous highs from back on, what day is this? From back on the 22nd, 23rd, and 27th of December. We are sitting right back at that level. So, do we hold here? Is this a break and retest for for a little consolidation and then another push to the upside? Or do we give up this 154.50? Do we turn it back into a rejection point? And do we trade back within this channel? That's going to be the question today. That will obviously depend on what the market does today. That's why we watch the NASDAQ. That's why we watch the ES, so that we can get a good idea of what we're looking at on individual stocks. But that is exactly what you need to be watching today on Nvidia. Does Nvidia turn this previous triple top into support? Or does Nvidia slip under that? And does it start to give back this crazy upside from Monday? And not only that, the upside from Friday. So you have some juice here if the market does slip, right? That's going to be a big if. We have to see how the market reacts. But 154.50, that looks really nice. Key level as we sit right now. Definitely watching that at that level there. Okay? Costco. So, yeah, I'm interested in this one. I'm interested in how Costco reacts to this because this is a big rejection here on Costco. So you guys can see huge move on Friday. Congrats if you caught that upside. That was sick. Now you moved right into this previous rejection point, right? Rejection, right into that rejection point. Now, look at where Costco's trading, right? It traded right back into that rejection. We go to the 5 minute. You can see we traded right back up into that. We had a little bit of an uptrend try to form here, right? A little bit of an uptrend trying to form here, and we slipped below it. So you can see, we can actually draw like a channel here. Something like this. It tried the channel here to the upside, and then it slipped underneath it. So 486, 490, very important level. And if it does give up here, right, it's starting to give up this 478 area. I would say like this 478 right here is pretty crucial. And it's starting to give it up here in the pre-market. If we give that up, right, look to the left. Look to the left. Look at the candles to the left. This does not have support, right? This is not support here. This is a straight up move. Very difficult. You know, buyers that are in at these levels are not going to support this stock. They're going to sell, right? This is not strong area of support. So my idea here is that if I start to see the market go down, if I see Costco start to see weakness at 478, right, you might be able to catch a really aggressive downside move here. We'll have to see if that happens today. We'll have to see if that happens at all. But yeah, that's definitely what I would be watching here. Okay, so 478 Costco. You also have on your side that 4-hour rejection. You can see this is a major level on the 4-hour. It's not only here, right? It's also back here, and it's also back here. Back in what is this? August. Or no, that is at September. September rejection. September rejection. This is November, a little support. This is a December into, or early December into mid-December rejection. We come back up into it. We're at that same level. Do we reject it again? And if we do we give back that huge upside move? Definitely something I'm watching. Amazon 87. It's actually above it again today. Yeah, Amazon's trying to hold that 87. This is a big level, 87. So if I go to the hourly chart, I'm sure you guys have heard me trade off this level previously. Previous lows, rejections, 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 and look at where we're trading at today. So this is either the same, it's the same thing as Nvidia, right? A lot of these stocks are looking similar. It's either a break and retest, of the previous highs, and we find support at this level, right? That's option one. If the market's strong, of course, that's going to be a requirement. The market will have to be strong for a break and retest of 87, or we give up 87, So that's really what I'm watching today. I'm just going to keep an eye on what 87 does. If 87 turns into a rejection, right? If we lose 87, then I'm looking for that downside, maybe into that 20 SMA, but maybe we can even trade back within this channel, right? Look at how crazy the moves on Amazon have been. Just like straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. So if this goes straight up, if we lose 87, I know I would look for that downside move to come in. But that's going to obviously require a weak market and for us to lose the 87 level. This could, again, be a break and retest. So we have to be open to both sides here. This could be a push, breakthrough rejections, right? Breakthrough resistance, pull back to that previous resistance, hold it as support, and then look for another upside move. That is very possible if the market turns bullish today, but we'll have to see what happens. Okay. Boeing gap down. I'm not sure exactly why Boeing is gapping down. Okay, they got a downgrade by Morgan Stanley. That could be it. I guess that's probably it. There was also some news last night. U.S. Federal Aviation Administration proposes to require aircraft in the U.S. by February 2024 to be equipped to safely operate near 5G C-band wireless signals. I don't think that's the news. It's got to be the downgrade. Yeah, so Boeing downgraded by Morgan Stanley to equal weight from overweight after recent outperformance. Price target 220 from 213. So they increased their price target, but they moved it to equal weight. So they're sort of selling off some, pretty much. So a little bit of a gap down. Now, I'm a little bit cautious of trading gap and goes, right? This is something I don't love to trade. A gap and go is when you sort of, there's a gap and then you continue to trade it the same way that it goes. So let's say we have a gap up. Let's say we're here, we gap up to here. Let's say we're trading, right? And then you open up here, and then you play the gap and go, right? Gap and then go. I have problems trading gap and goes because I just don't really, I don't know. It's sometimes difficult for me to get behind. So this is the same thing, right? You have a gap in price, and then if you were to trade the downside, it would be a gap and go to the downside. It's possible. The most recent gap fill that I could remember is on the Tesla, this gap. So Tesla, if you guys remember, Tesla gapped down here, and it just ripped the next day and filled that gap. Obviously, that was off a strong market, and things were going well for Tesla that day. So I'm just a little bit cautious, right? Just be a little bit cautious of getting aggressive on the downside on Boeing, just in case Boeing does something like this, right? Just in case Boeing does gap fill and then it rejects here. That's very possible to see, right? Very possible to see the gap fill before the downside continuation. So just be aware of that, right? Don't, just have it in your mind. That's what I would say. It's not really my style to trade the gap and go, but we'll see. If we lose 201, 200.5, if we lose this low right here, then yeah, I'd probably say we could probably move down into this 196. Now, why do I like 196? All right, what's the reason for the 196 level? The reason for that is because, once again, look at this right here. Look at this candle. This candle is just a straight up move from Wednesday of last week. Straight up move. So if we move into that level, right, if we move back into this straight up move, I would expect a pretty aggressive straight down move. So going to be watching that, going to be aware of it. If we drop under 201s, 200s, I would look for that to sort of fill this straight up move from Wednesday of last week, possibly back down into these previous highs around 197. But just be careful of the gap fill. It is very possible for Boeing to fill the gap before moving lower. All right, Apple. I think 130 is your level to watch today. If I go to the 5-minute chart, I'm going to show you why. So here's the 5-minute chart on Apple, and we're just looking at this, sort of day over day. Look at what Apple did at 130 yesterday morning, right? Yesterday morning, Apple showed us, hey, I want to hold 130. I want to hold here. I want to move higher. This is my, this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to maintain 130, and I wanted to push back into the next rejection point. Did exactly that. Into the 20 SMA, into supply, and rejected it. Now, what is Apple telling us today, right? Apple today is telling us, I'm going to go under 130. I'm going to reject 130. And if I reject 130, I could see some downside movement here. So if Apple is under 130 today, I am going to be on the side of looking for downside. If Apple cannot get back over 130 today, I think you have very much a very nice potential move to the downside. Now, the reason for that is because if we look at this hourly chart, look at the movement that happened between 128 and 130, right? Look at this movement right here. This movement right here does not instill much confidence. It does not instill much support. There's not support here. The next support is these previous highs, right? That's support. All right, if we trade back into the 128, that's support right here. Yeah, there is a lot of head and shoulders around. There is a ton. That's because of exactly what the NASDAQ did yesterday. Everything looks the same. So you can see big push into supply, 20 SMA, 130. We're under it this morning. If we stay under 130, I definitely, if the market does get weak, if Jerome Powell causes weakness, if the market's just weak today in general, I could definitely see Apple back here, right? 128, 127.80. I could see it. So I'm going to be watching that 130. If we cannot get above 130 today, even if we do something like this, right? This will be a telltale sign for me today. If we do something like this at open, let's say, market opens here, we're starting to trade. If I see something like this straight up, and then you start to see something like this form, and then you start to see these rejections come in, right? Then I'll start to see, okay, now I like this potential trade, put my stop over 130, and see if I can trade that thing back down to the 128s, 127s. So something I'm watching, 130. Let's see what happens today. I would definitely like to play that. I would hope it sets up, but we'll see. Netflix looks weak today. Netflix looks real weak. Now, I'm not sure what happened on What happened on Netflix? We get news. I don't think we got news. Anyone see any news on Netflix, or are we just moving lower here? It might just be moving lower here. I don't see any news on Netflix, stock-specific news. But I do like this rejection. And also, Netflix just, it's not, to me, it's just not the most stable stock. And when I see Netflix move up 16%, there's probably some opportunity. So, probably because the news show sucked. 16% on Netflix in the last week, up into supply again. And if Netflix cannot break through this area, right, then it's gonna get stuck up here, right? You can see we got stuck here, and we're getting stuck again up here at 322, 320s, right, 325, all up in this range. We are getting stuck once again at this 320 area. And we are starting to see that move to the downside. So if the market's weak today, I think Netflix probably overperforms to the downside. You would probably want to be looking at this 300 level. 300 here, 300 here, and then you also have the 20 SMA. So right now you're trading at 309. You're losing a little bit of that margin that you'd like. Hopefully maybe Netflix can hold up a little bit here today before it, I would hope it doesn't just die to 300 before open. But 300 would be the level to watch, in my opinion. All right, and then you have to be careful shorting at 300, though, right? Because this is a potential break and retest, right? So you have to be cautious shorting at 300. You would like to try to get into it before it gets to 300, because once it gets to 300, this previous high can turn into support, and you probably don't want to mess around with that. So would like to see if I can get an entry here on Netflix into that 300 level. That would be definitely something I'm watching here. If we go to the daily chart, we can see, right, this is not any type of, this is a big level where it's rejecting. This is the gap fill level, right? Netflix is still stuck pretty much at the gap fill level. So double bottom from the gap down, you filled the gap, and you are definitely finding resistance up here. So it's been in a really nice uptrend. That's up to you to decide, right? Does Netflix deserve to be in this uptrend? That's something that I would be, just keep an eye on this. This could set up something bigger. If that's, of course, I would say if you are looking for another move, if we get another aggressive move on the market, if that happens in the future, this could definitely be one of those big time ones to watch. Big time, maybe uptrend breaks to watch. Very possible. Earnings are coming up on the 19th, so I would be aware of that. I'd probably be out of all trades before earnings, but interesting. All right, that's that. Let's go Nike real quick. This was a chart that was brought up in the live stream last night, and I really am interested in this one actually. Look at this chart on Nike. What do you guys see here? All right, someone tell me. This looks interesting. Break. Retest. If this is the rejection point on Nike, this could be a very interesting level. Now, the other reason why I'm interested here on Nike is because of Lululemon. All right, Lululemon had a guidance revision yesterday about margin contraction. Now, Nike, I wouldn't say it's as discretionary as Lululemon, but it is similar. And if that Lululemon news does anything to a retailer like Nike, this could be a really good risk to reward. I mean, like one of the best risk to rewards out there. Even if you get stopped out, so be it. You get stopped out probably over 127. I'd probably give it like 127, 128. So I'm interested. And this is the beginning of a weekly candle, right? Look at the beginning of that weekly candle. That's the beginning of your weekly candle. It was upgraded? All right. So that is something you'd have to watch. Yeah, there are some upgrades here. Yeah. DZ Bank sell rating, Cohen RBC outperform, KGI these are very Watch it. That's what I'd say. I'd say watch it. See what happens here. See what happens at this 126 area. See if it starts to get heavy. That's what I would say. All right. If you guys could take 1 second out of your day, just one. It all takes is 1 second, one move of your finger. If you could just move your finger one time for me today and press the like button, that would be very much appreciated. That would be very much appreciated. We're going to go and jump into the tickers that you guys want to look at today. But before we do that, all I ask is for you to just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. We do this every single day starting at 8 a.m. And I'd love to have you guys here consistently. All right. So FedEx. Well, we got a lot. We're gonna go speed mode here. We got Netflix already did it. FedEx, Lilly, JP Morgan, Meta, Google, Baba, JPM, Blink. Is that Blink or is that BlackRock? I'm not sure what that is. BLK? I'm not sure what that is. And UNH. All right. Speed round. Here we go. FedEx. You're looking for rejections at 200. That's going to be your next setup. That is your next setup here. Rejections of 200. I think the upside risk reward's gone, right? If you miss the upside, it's gone. You have like 5 points of margin here for upside. Here's what you're looking for. Boom. Push into the gap. Push into this previous low. Reject it. That's what I need to set an alert on this one. This is real interesting. Create alert. I'm going to go at or above 195. This is interesting. Good call out. But I would not look for upside here. You are getting way too close to these previous lows. Risk reward's gone. Missed it if you haven't caught it yet. Lilly. LLY. Eli Lilly. What are we looking at here? We're looking at something that's starting to top out a little bit. Eli Lilly is, it's a dividend name, right? I don't know. I'd be careful trading this with options, but if you get healthcare that starts to, is this in healthcare? Let me make sure I'm not misspoken here. Yeah, Eli Lilly, XLV. So number 5 in the XLV. Yeah, I mean, if you start to see the XLV give up, then yes, I'd look for that, maybe that rejection at 370. JP Morgan, a little bit of a double top here, right? Look at this little double top here on JP Morgan around that 138. I would watch the XLF. I would see if the XLF rejects this 36 here, this could be a nice short on JP Morgan. And also that Goldman Sachs idea I had did work out temporarily. We did get a push above that high. I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about JPM yesterday. I'm sorry, Goldman Sachs. We did get a squeeze above this high, 350, but just be careful. You got to watch that XLV. If you're going to play Goldman Sachs, you need to see it turn this level into a support. It's around 350, 351. But JP Morgan, watch XLV, and then this little double top here is interesting. If that XLV loses strength, right? This little double top is interesting. Meta, yeah, I was actually going to talk about Meta, but yeah, Meta back under 128.50 is very important here, guys. Meta is back under 128.50. This could be a nice setup to the downside. If Meta stays under 128.50, I'd look for downside. It rejected the 100 SMA, and it's back under that 128.50. If it's under 128.50, I would look for it to trade probably back down to this 123. So look to see if it stays under 128.50 today. Google. Damn, Google's weak, huh? Not many charts are down at the lows of a channel right now. Look at that. Yeah, Google just cannot get over this 92 area. 91, 92. Look how tough that's been for Google. Look at these rejections here. Yeah. I'd just be careful here on the channel low. I'd be careful shorting the channel lows, but maybe watch this channel low break if that comes in. Watch it both ways. That is one weak stock, though. Baba, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Baba you can wake up tomorrow and Baba's down 10% because China says something crazy. I'm not going to get involved in Baba. BLK, BlackRock. I don't know. I don't know if I would be very interested in trading a stock like BlackRock, guys. It's more of like a long-term investment. It looks like there's definitely going to be some supply levels up here as we start to approach these tops, right? Top here, top here, top here. All right, so just be careful up here on the 760s, 770s. Finally, UNH. Yeah, UNH has been getting pretty damn weak lately. Let me get a little bit more time here. But yeah, UNH has been starting to top here a little bit. So this is starting to get interesting on some of these stocks that, have been crazy strong for all of 2021, or 2022, when everything else was weak. Some of these stocks just sort of held up. It's definitely starting to show some, right? This has not happened in a long time. So this is something to pay attention to, right? If we look at this chart, if we just look at the pattern of this chart, when was the last time you saw a quadruple top on UNH? It hasn't happened. Right, you had a little double top here, broke down, got through it. A little bit of a top here. You did break down a little bit. So this could be a little example here. And then you got back through it. You can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then over since April of last year, you have not been able to break this 550 level. So yeah, maybe this does start to break down. If that XLV, right, if that XLV starts to lose it here, XLV definitely broke down yesterday. If the XLV continues that downside move, then yeah, I mean, that's real interesting. That's real interesting. So good watch. I'd say watch it. Could be I mean, if you want to set up a short, just have your stops here and give it some space. That's really all you could do here at this point. If you think this moves lower, you buy something long dated, you give it some space, right? You give it like a stop of 560 and you just sort of let this thing sit. If that's the game plan you want to have, that would be what I'd be, thinking about. But that's going to be up to you. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. If you did, please press the like button before you head out. I would love to start getting like 1,000 on. It would be sweet to get 1,000 likes on a live stream. If you guys could help me out with that, all it takes is like 60% of people to actually press the like button. So that would be awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for always showing up to the streams. It's incredible. It's awesome. I mean, it's sweet. I'm very thankful for it. I very much appreciate you guys for showing up. It's sweet to be able to do what I love in front of all you guys, and I hope you do enjoy, and I hope you find value from the live streams. So thank you guys again. I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Watch out for that NASDAQ and ES. Make sure to pay attention to those levels. If you want to come for a nightly live stream, the next one is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. If you want to join that, you have to be either a Discord member, a YouTube member. You can press the join button down below, or you can be an Instagram member. You can join my Instagram membership as well. It's $5 a month. If you guys want to check it out, we get a little individualized, a little bit of a smaller group on a weekly or a nightly or Monday, Wednesday night live stream if you want to join that. All right, guys, have a good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.